Time travel. One of the oldest tropes in sci-fi and fantasy. I still remember reading A Sound of Thunder in middle school, and how it sparked my enjoyment of sci-fi writing. So how does My Little Pony handle the idea of alternate timelines? Look, whatever you do, don't draw a comparison between this episode and Star Trek The Next Generation's episode, Tapestry. Or the episode Parallels, that's another one. What? Or Kirk's episode, The City on the Edge of Forever. That was a really good one, but the bronies won't stand for it. And don't even get me started on Doctor Who and Turn Left. Sheesh, what a wuss. I didn't even get to mention Sliders. So this episode starts off with some great visuals as Twilight presents to a packed house including Lyra and Moondancer and Starlight Glimmer. Wait, what? Yep, Starlight's done popping up in the background and decided to lay a magical smackdown on Twilight. And I do mean smackdown. She is rocking a god mod this episode. She's able to easily trump Twilight's years of study with what appears to be innate talent and self-taught magic. I guess we have our answer from the Cutie map. Starlight isn't an antagonist for the goals of world domination or gathering personal power. Not consciously, anyway. Her menace lies in being a sociopath who isn't able to consider the consequences of her vendetta. Because the moment she prevents Rainbow Dash's sonic rain boom and all the events that sprung from that, we're treated to several alternate futures. Personal favorite was the Sombra future, where we got to see warring ponies. Or should I say a large-scale slapfest. Of course, each alternate future story featured one of the big bads and had its own charm. I'm impressed with the visual tone in each. Sombra's War features a red tint to everything, as opposed to the green gloom in the future where changelings won, or the dark blue of midnight under Nightmare Moon's reign. And through it all, Twilight just can't seem to best Starlight Glimmer's plans. Try after try, and a worse future each time. Which is kind of weird how one of the final futures we see is Flim and Flam tearing up all of Ponyville. Are we seriously saying that a pair of con artists are worse than a war with brainwashed army? Or a futile struggle against shapeshifters? Or unicycles? Unicycles are trippy. Now, as much as I enjoy seeing our heroines engage in knockdown battles, it makes sense that Twilight can't pummel a Starlight Glimmer into submission. This show emphasizes bonds and feelings. Even magical wins are powered by emotion. So Twilight's victory comes from talking things out. Side note, I'm very glad this episode didn't feature a magical superform to solve the problem. Unfortunately, we have yet another 11th hour redemption that has become commonplace. Starlight reveals her mildly inconvenient past and is instantly forgiven. Sorry, Starlight, but as tragic tales go, I think Moondancer's got you beat. Moments like this remind me that this show is aimed at a younger audience with shorter attention spans. Redemptions are rushed, forgiveness coming very easily. One must wrap up all the loose ends so kids can go off with a light heart. I don't enjoy this style of redemption for its simplicity, but at this point I've come to expect it from Friendship is Magic. It's a valid point to criticize, but I do think it's a mistake to be surprised. There was, however, a different element that bothered me. I love seeing all these dark alternate timelines, but as the story went on, I started to feel a growing discomfort. There was a theme here, and Starlight summed it up.
Spare me your overblown ego!
Ego. It really is present in the writing. Every world we saw was in tatters because Twilight and company weren't together. And while the ending did its best to stress that the loss of any friendship weakened the whole world, what we saw drives home a different message. That Twilight and her friends are more important than the world. Without them, no other pony can stand up. It's a trait I'm noticing more and more, especially in fiction aimed at the young. The Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner, and even Harry Potter and more. This idea that one person or a select few are so important that the whole world's prosperity relies solely on them. Now, I've seen a lot of stories talk about how the world can change if you either allow or prevent one person from acting. An individual at the right or wrong place can change the course of history. But this series has half a dozen such moments, all focused on the main six, with more likely to follow. Which is a shame because Season 5 has been the season that expanded Equestria. New frontiers, different insights into characters, showing ponies wrestling with their past or considering their future, giving background characters a chance in the spotlight. We started this season with second-tier characters helping save the day. I find myself wishing that we'd seen a future where Equestria was still peaceful, but at a greater cost. That perhaps another band of ponies stopped Nightmare Moon, but weren't able to save Princess Luna. Or Chrysalis had been defeated, but only by Celestia sacrificing herself. The ponies of this world did their best, but they were truly diminished. I get that apocalyptic scenarios drive home the cost of failure, but I think this episode jumped an important step. So all in all, I enjoyed the spectacle for this episode, but it falls into the trap of many a season finale. I love seeing the main six work towards their goals and find their place in the world. Most slice-of-life episodes involve just that. Less enjoyable is when the world becomes dependent on them alone. I'm Silver-Quilted, and if you'll excuse me, I still have a good portion of Season 5 left to review. Thanks for watching.